Hi everyone. As always, I'm going to take you through some recommendations for ways in which we might modify our CrossFit linchpin workouts for kids. We're going to take a closer look at Tuesday the 3rd of May. We've got a long day, also mixed in with a heavy day. We've got 15 rounds of 1 heavy deadlift, 5 strict pull-ups, 10 push-ups and 15 air squats, a sort of variation on Cindy. Now, these are all fantastic movements to include in your CrossFit Kids workouts. You know, we've got foundational movements of the deadlift and the air squat, and we've got the functional movements of the pull-up and the push-up. All core primary movements that we would teach really early on in a CrossFit Kids program. However, we've got 4 pieces here which is probably a bit too complex in terms of the number of movements that we'd give our kids. So I'm going to take a closer look at how we might adapt that. We're going to start off, I'm going to go through a class structure as I have done for the last number of weeks. I'm going to start off with our general warm-up. I've kept our general warm-up quite short today because we're going to spend a bit longer on our specific warm-up, our skill work. So you've got 5 minutes and it's a really simple AMRAP, but hopefully it'll get quite gassy, getting the children warm. Also, stimulate some of those areas that we like to stimulate during a CrossFit Kids session, but we don't actually hit them in the workout this week. So we've got forward roll, so we'll set up a course up and back, probably I would say about 10 to 15 meters long. So you're going to start off with a forward roll, and then the children are going to bear crawl 5 meters, and then they're going to do some mini hurdle jumps for 5 meters. If you don't have hurdles, you can use anything like ab mats, cones, just any target for the children to jump over. Could be kettlebells, absolutely anything. Once they've done the 5 meter hurdle jump, they're simply going to sprint back to the start. I'm going to keep moving through that for about, I'd say 3, 4, possibly 5 minutes. Once we've got the children generally warm, we're going to move on to our specific skill work. So we're going to look at a pull-up, a deadlift, and a push-up. So I've chosen the deadlift primarily. I could have chosen the deadlift or the air squat really here, but primarily because we've done quite a bit of squatting in recent workouts that I've gone through with you. So the workout is going to be an element of the pull-up. It's going to be monkey hands. But during this specific part of the skill, just work on any of those bar hanging progressions that you'll see on the video. Play some bar games if you've got a class, set some challenges. That could be individual, in pairs or group challenges. Who can hold the bar for the longest, or any of those variations and progressions in any manner of challenge you can come up with. Then you're going to work on the deadlift. You're going to start unloaded, and we're going to make sure that the children can maintain a neutral lumbar curve. So they've got a flat back, and angled gorilla back is the term we often hear in CrossFit Kids. So once they can maintain that, you're going to then see if they can maintain that while using an external object. Kettlebells are fantastic. Unlike having a barbell where we have to move our body out of the way of the object, the kettlebell sits nicely in that sumo deadlift position, and we don't have to worry about the path of the object as we're deadlifting. So if they can maintain a nice neutral lumbar curve while they're deadlifting unloaded, try them with an external object. I really like kettlebells ideal in a sumo deadlift stance, and you'll see a video of both of those options. If they cannot maintain a neutral lumbar spine when they are deadlifting with an external object, external load, then they're just going to perform that workout unloaded. And we say to them, keep practicing, finding that, getting an awareness of what that feels like, and you'll be there soon enough. Once you've spent some time doing the deadlift, you're going to spend some time on the push-up. Now, as you'll see on the video, I've shown you 3 examples of what the push-up could look like. We don't worry too much about sort of overextension in the lumbar during a push-up. What we're really trying to focus on is that finish position. So where they go to, so at the top of that plank position. And then we're going to get them to hold that position and lower themselves down to the bottom of a push-up to where they go. And then Gradually, as they develop more strength and awareness, they'll be able to maintain that on the way up and on the way down. Alternatively, you can give them a box elevated push-up if they're lacking some strength but they have an awareness, and that will help them work through that range of motion. You can gradually lower them, much like you'd probably do if you're scaling for an adult, gradually lower them down until they're prone on the floor. And then once we've spent about 15 minutes on that skill work, the stimulus we're really going to get out of this workout is an element of a functional movement. So the monkey hangs is developing on that grip strength and some kinesthetic awareness, re-gripping the bar during the workout. And you'll see a video of that, of different bar hanging progressions. If your children don't have the grip strength to monkey tap, just do some hand releases, or it could be a 5-second bar hang. Then it's going to be 6 push-ups. A variation could be the warm-up push-up that you'll see. It could be strict regular push-ups, or it could be a box elevated push-up. And then we've got 9 kettlebell deadlifts, and we're picking a load that the children can move comfortably well. Again, if they cannot move at an external load without losing neutral lumbar curve or neutral lumbar spine, we're going to go for an unloaded angry griller, so unloaded deadlift, and you'll see the video of that. Once we've finished the workout, we're going to get to, as I always say, the most important part of the CrossFit Kids session, and that's the game. This week we've got one of my favourites, it's Volcano Monster. You can find this in the CrossFit Kids Startup curriculum. However, I'll give you a brief explanation now. What we do is we set up 4 plyometric boxes in a kind of cross with a gap in the middle. We load loads of soft balls into the middle, and that will become our lava. The Volcano Monster is one of the children on the inside. They're throwing the lava or the soft balls out of the volcano as quick as they can. The other children in the group are collecting the lava and they're throwing them back into the volcano. And just continue for a minute or 2, swap the children in and out. Very simple, but the children absolutely love it. If you don't have boxes available, I've done it really successfully with a set of cones in a large zone, and the children have to stay further back and either roll it in or throw it in. Once you've played the game, you've got some time for a cool down, some specific skill work, some challenges which you'll find in that CrossFit Kids Startup curriculum, or some study. For the skill here, because there were some air squats in the original workout, I've just put in here working on some perfect squats. And a perfect squat might look different for different children. It could be your perfect squat this week for our younger children is making sure your feet are in the right place. Or for a slightly older child, it could be maintaining that neutral lumbar spine. Or it could be knees tracking their toes, making sure they're getting full range of motion. But the perfect squat on the aspect of the movement that you're focusing on with that particular child. If they're very experienced, then it could be, right, are we going to slow it down? Are we going to speed it up a little bit? See if they can still maintain those points of performance. Really hope you enjoyed the workout this week, guys. Have fun. So first of all, here we've got the unloaded deadlift or angry griller. We're keeping up the arms straight between the legs, and then a similar line of action to a squat. Hips go back, knees track the toes, and then hips and shoulders rise at the same time. And you'll see that more clearly on the side profile. One thing I'm getting my son to do here is aim to get the fingertips to come down just between his ankles, where the object would be if he was lifting one. And for a loaded kettlebell sumo deadlift, same points of performance as the angry griller, except maintaining a neutral lumbar spine while using an external load. And you can see here in both profiles, the front and the side, that the kettlebell is in between the ankles, so the handle is lined up with the ankles, and then hips go back, and then shoulders and hips rise at the same time. Okay. So for our bar hanging progressions, we start with our most simple, a bar hang. Here, I'm looking for a suspended shrug, so making a gap between the shoulders and the ears. Full grip on the bar, hands about shoulder width apart. Then we move on to hand releases, so maintaining the same points of performance, but just releasing alternate hands. Okay. On from the hand releases, going to add a bit of movement now, so we're doing the side to side traverse, still trying to keep that nice suspended shrug, so the active shoulder, and ideally looking forwards and feet together. Once the children have developed good grip strength, we can introduce monkey hangs, so that's release one hand, touch the hips, re-establish that grip, trying to maintain that nice suspended shrug as they're doing the movement. Finally, we have round the worlds. So it's very similar to all of the other movements with a hand release, full grip on the bar. This time we get the added bonus of some vestibular stimulation. I'm going to go back the other way. And then the other way. Good job. Okay, Jonah's going to take us through a regular push-up. He's going to lie down on his front. He's going to get his feet together. His hands are going to be beneath his shoulders, keeping his body tight in a straight line right from his shoulder all the way down to his ankle. He's going to press up into the top of a plank position. To come down, he's going to send his elbows back, chest on the floor, and then he's going to repeat that again for me 2 more times. And rest. Okay, Jonah's going to take us through a box elevated push-up. He's going to turn and face the box. He's going to place his hands on the edge of the box. He's going to walk his feet back, keeping his body straight. He's going to lower his body, keeping his elbows back. Once his chest touches the box, he's going to press up. So we start in the extended position as if we're in a plank. We lower our chest to the box. This is where we go, and we press ourselves back out, and this is where we finish for our elevated box push-up. With a box push-up, we only want to be seeing a rigid line in the body here. We don't want to see any worming like we do for the worm push-up. And rest. Okay, Jonah's going to show us the warm-up push-up. He's going to start with his hands underneath his shoulders, his feet together. He's going to worm his way up to the top of a plank position. There's an ever slight overextension in his spine because some children might not have the prerequisite strength to hold that rigid body on the way up. On the way down, he's going to send his elbows back, keeping his body as straight as possible. One more for me, Jonah. And elbows back. Good job.